Welcome back, Wootton. After more than a year of being physically separated from Wootton, we will begin returning to in-person learning for some of our students. We have been planning for this return, and we are very excited that some of our students will be returning to classes in person in just a few short weeks. One important priority as we plan for this return has been the safety and health of our students, staff, and our entire community. It is critically important that we all do our part, wear a mask while on campus, remain 6 feet apart in halls and classroom spaces, and stay home if you are feeling unwell to keep our entire school community safe and to keep school open. We have, of course, had to make other modifications to ensure that we are following all safety protocols as we open our doors. Our security and building services teams have worked incredibly hard to ensure that the building is safe and there is a flow of traffic that promotes social distancing and other safety protocols. Today's video, brought to you by our Patriot Ambassadors, provides you with crucial information on how you will navigate the school building. Please take a moment and view this video in its entirety. We have also planned parent meetings and town halls in the next few weeks to provide you as much information as possible to make your transition back to school as smooth as possible. As always, administrators, counselors, teachers, and staff are all available to answer your questions. We are excited to have you back at Wootton, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our Patriot Ambassadors for a walk through Wootton. Enjoy!
After more than a year of silent hallways and empty classrooms, it is an absolute delight to welcome our students back into the building. This school year has definitely been like no other, and I'm sure we are all ready to get a feeling of normal back into our lives. During this transition back into the building, our top priority will be the safety of students, faculty, and staff. Wootton has implemented a multitude of safety precautions to transition from online learning to in-person learning. To ensure the safe return of all students, signs have been placed all over the school, reminding students to socially distance themselves and wear masks. Signs have also been implemented to clearly indicate which direction students should proceed in a COVID-safe manner. This will help limit the amount of contact students have with others. Also, before entering the building, a weekly attestation form will need to be filled out at home. Every student will be given this, and the form will ask whether the student has any symptoms and general questions related to their health. It is incredibly important for everyone to follow all the safety guidelines. Buses will be operating on a pre-COVID schedule that will be posted on the Wootton website shortly. Once students have arrived at school, there will be distinct, 6 feet apart, blue markings in front of Wootton to ensure that students keep socially distanced when coming into the building. Students should aim to arrive before 9 a.m., whether by car or bus. For students being dropped off by their parents, there will also be marked blue lines that students should follow to ensure a 6 feet distance when entering the building. Student parking is limited this year. Therefore, seniors will be given priority and will need to go through the application process to get their parking spot, which will be sent out shortly. When arriving at school, either by bus or by other modes of transportation, students will have the opportunity to take advantage of study hall. During this time, students can visit the commons, the cafeteria, the auditorium lobby, the courtyards, or the stadium when it is available. However, students must make sure to always be socially distanced while doing work or relaxing before class. If you arrive late to school, make sure not to go to the main office and instead make your way to the attendance office.
As the hallways are the main access point in between classes, it is important we keep up to par with COVID-19 guidelines to keep all students and staff safe. It is crucial that all students and staff maintain distance when walking in the hallways. As we all know by now, keeping 6 feet distance from another person limits almost all contact and ensures our safety. There will be yellow tape with arrows indicating which direction students should proceed. This tape is to keep distance between each other and to preserve the flow of traffic. Students are expected to go to their next class with very limited group meetings. You may be comfortable with a friend, however, it is important to try and avoid congregating as much as possible to keep the school environment safe. This time, similar to before, will be used for students who need to use the restroom and for possibly releasing other grade levels at different times when we all return to school. Since the schedule for in-person school is the same as virtual, you will have around 10 to 15 minutes to transition to your next class. Most of the stairwells will be one-way, meaning there will be stairs that only go up and others that only go down, except for some of the bigger stairwells, which are two-way. You will find the stairwell closest to you that goes in the direction that you need to go in order to get to your next class on time. If you need to go up, but the stairway says down, there will be a sign saying stop, so make sure you are going the right way. However, if you need to go up, the stairway will indicate that you can do so, and there will be a sign on the bottom saying go. During an emergency evacuation, stairways are two-directional. All stairways throughout the building lead to an exit.
The school's bathroom will all be open throughout the building, but with a 2-person use capacity. Prior to entering any bathroom, students are prompted to cautiously look and see how many students are using the bathroom at that time. In order to ensure the bathroom capacity is being followed, it is very important for students to stay observant and aware of how many individuals leave and enter the premises. When the bathroom is full, students must wait outside until someone leaves. All students have the choice of going to another bathroom when one is full, but social distancing is expected to be followed when they choose to wait outside a certain one. Unfortunately, as a precaution to stop the spread of COVID-19, all water fountains in the building will not be available for use. However, the water bottle filling stations throughout the building. Therefore, students are strongly advised to come to school prepared with a water bottle that can be refilled at one of these stations throughout the day. There will be several large areas that students will be able to eat lunch. In these areas, students need to keep a 6 feet distance as well as limit the number of people in each area, as masks will not be worn during that time. Depending on the number of students that will be returning, students will most likely be released by grade level at different times when all grade levels are back in the building. The areas available to students are the terrace outside the cafeteria, the commons, the auditorium lobby, the courtyards, classrooms, and occasionally the stadium. The cafeteria, the commons, and the auditorium lobby will have desks placed socially distanced, and each student will be provided with a desk to eat at. Any delivery of food or materials needed for school activities or events is prohibited. This includes parent drop-off. Food will be provided, but is limited to bag lunches. Since students will not be provided a la carte lunches, they will need to bring their own lunch and water or be provided a full meal.
The health room will of course follow standard COVID safety procedures with social distancing, mask wearing, and hand washing. The health room is available for all students who are feeling unwell with any non-COVID symptoms, injuries, and illnesses. If the nurse determines anyone to be showing COVID-19 symptoms, there is a separate room where students will be taken to help contain the spread of COVID-19. When the dismissal bell rings to dismiss students, all students are prompted to leave immediately after school. This includes sports teams. This year, due to COVID-19, students are allowed to exit out of any entrance or exit as long as they are following safety precautions and social distancing. Based on how many students return back to school, students are going to be dismissed by grade levels at different times when all grades are back in the building. When exiting, make sure to keep your distance from other students and try to go through exits that aren't as crowded for everyone's safety.